Yo, 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 what's up, what's up, what's up? What's goody, everybody? What's good, everybody? Today is a very, very special, special, special day. And I told you I was going to get him. I told you I was going to bring the big dogs out. Didn't I tell you? Okay, we here. So today is the 139th episode. Yes, on our way to 200 episodes. We coming. This is my house. All right. And this is the In Your Face show. And I'm here with my main man, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Mr. Mark Henry. Take it away, my sir.
Man, how y'all doing, man? I'm glad I could join you and your fan base, your audience. You know, I was telling you off the air a little bit about me. You know where
Yes, sir.
because people they automatically have an assumption of who you are based off how you look, what you trade on television, or radio or whatever. And I come from a little small community in East Texas, Stillsby, 3,000
Mm-hmm.
people. And, I told you that I was like a silver spoon in my mouth. Like my mother never made more than $12,000 in a year. We were poor without the OR.
Damn.
And I feel like I should not exist. There's no way that, I should have ever done the things that I've done in my life without a lot of sacrifice, hard work, and more than anything, the fact that God is leading and pushed me in my back life. I grew up in the church, and I'm not saying that church is the answer. Church is a place, but the spirit and the belief of what God truly is, and to give you the confidence to there's some God in all of us, and it have to be unlocked. It's like you ever played in video games where
Mm-hmm.
you go through a certain level, and then you get to this level, you get the do power.
Yeah.
It's like God is waiting on work. God is waiting on
Perseverance.
God.
Yeah, the call. I figured that's all happens. That happens all the time.
God is wanting you to be proactive and
Mm-hmm.
to try to lead and to be, or even if you can't lead, then go and be a worker, go and be a soldier for him in the best way possible. Any way
Yes, sir.
support that you can give, like go be a part and don't be a disruptor. There's too many disruptors. If you're on the disruptor squad, like please, like change your ways because it messes up a lot of what's going on in this world that's good. And people that have like the kind of money that I prayed and wished for and don't have. When the disruptors come out, they don't support no more.
Oh.
Too difficult. They like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't be a part of that. Like, so disruptors, that message is for y'all. Like, relax. Let the people that's really trying to make things happen, let them make it happen and quit trying to get your name on the front page.
Right. No. You said it. You said it. You said it.
That's how we starting?
Yeah, we saw we start. All right, Mr. Mark Henry. So, where did the gimmick sexual chocolate come from? When did it start?
Well, first, I actually came in as myself, as Mark
Okay.
Henry. I was an Olympian. I competed in 2 Olympic Games in 92, 96, and was the best weightlifter in America, the strongest powerlifter in America at the time. And I had a lot of publicity and a lot of colorful things that happened that brought attention to me. And a lot of people don't realize or know that I was a hooper.
Oh man.
I love ball. I could dunk with either hand. Like, you know, the guys that I played with, if I pointed at the rim, they knew what was up.
Damn.
So the kind of athlete that I was different. And I realized that I was different from an early age. And Vince McMahon and WWE or WWF at the time noticed it. And they wanted to sponsor me as an Olympic athlete, and they did. And I was able to be around pro wrestling from 95 to 97 when I came in, and I had my first match was with Jerry Lawler.
Figured that. I got it right down. Got it down.
Pay-per-view.
Uh-huh.
At a pay-per-view.
Wow.
Man, I had no training.
None?
None. You talk about being thrown to the wolves.
Wow.
Like, I was thrown to the wolves. And Ben said, don't worry about it. You're going to be all right. You'll get it. You're an athlete. He said, the people that can do all the amazing stuff you can do, as long as you can not get in your own way, you're going to be fine. And, of course, being a young dude, I did get in my own way because back then I would rather fight and then talk about it later. And that got me in a lot of trouble.
Because I remember in one interview, right, where you said that Undertaker came and you first met Undertaker and he was like, are you ribbing me? And we're like, wow.
Well, what happened was he was like, wow, look at this big old baby face. And I didn't know wrestling terminology. So I was like, who you calling babyface? And Taker was like, are y'all kidding me? Who he talking to? I had total disregard for him being Mark Calloway because of ignorance. Right. Nobody taught me. How do you expect people to coexist and be on the same playing field and you're not being taught the same way?
Right.
So years later, Mark is one of my best friends. I babysit his kids.
Wow.
Like, we go get ice cream. Like, that's a part of my family. And so, like, it didn't take 20 years for us to get tight. He realized that, okay, y'all haven't smartened him up. He don't know shit. So I had allies. Once people realized that, hey man, this dude he's pretty cool if y'all get to know him.
Right.
But if I heard a black joke, man, all bets was off. You lost me.
Right.
You lost me. I had a lot of trouble like that back then. And there was not very much success with that Mark Henry because after the Olympics was over, then, you know, people started saying stuff to me like, well, the Olympics is over with. Now you got to learn how to work and forget about who you used to be. I'm not forgetting who I was. I was the strongest man in the world. Talking about, you know, you don't trivialize me. And it pissed people off. And so I had troubles. But coming out of that, and in that era, there was no success, really. But then the Nation of Domination came about, and I joined the Nation with Dwayne, with The Rock, because The Rock was living with me.
Okay.
Like, we trained together, worked out together, and did the whole Nation thing, and that was like master's class. Dwayne came from wrestling. Dwayne is my son is the replica of The Rock because he's around wrestling so much. He talks to me like a 20-year veteran.
Oh, wow.
He understands psychology. He understands. He don't know how because I won't teach him. It ain't time. More than knowing how, Just like The Rock didn't know how. He didn't know how to be a wrestler. He didn't know how to get in the ring and lock up and do all of the maneuvers and learn the traditional way of how to wrestle. He didn't know. My son don't know. When the day comes, he gonna be taught. But you know what he does know? He knows why you do it.
Wow.
He knows when it's time to do it.
Right.
He knows, oh, this move, this thing, he knows where it's supposed to happen.
Right.
And that's the thing about wrestling that people don't realize. That's what I teach. I teach psychology.
Right.
We have coaches and trainers that teach them how. And then I teach them why, when, and where.
Right.
So Jacob is going to have a great advantage over everybody else, and he's going to get hated on. And I'm preparing him. Hey, they're going to hate you.
Right.
It's horrible that you got to teach your kids that the world is going to hate on something that's special, something that's good. It's a shame. Same with my daughter. If she wanted to wrestle, she could. I think she's naturally more athletic than my son.
Damn.
I'm just saying, anything she tries, she can do.
There's people out there like that.
It's crazy. I used to hate people like her because I was that little stupid kid.
Why can't I do this, right?
Just like these people out here. But once I got to the Nation of Domination, and I had Ron Simmons teaching me, I had D'Lo Brown teaching me. D'Lo Brown is one of the underrated pro wrestlers that should be in the Hall of Fame. He should be in the Hall of Fame. That dude taught me a lot.
Yeah.
I had the Godfather. Him and Undertaker were best friends.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then The Rock. So why would I not be successful? You have to be stupid and not pay attention, and that's not me. Not stupid.
Right. That's why when you have a chance to learn from somebody like yourself that's like older than you and wiser than you, sit back and learn.
Yeah, and it ain't just about wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, like we hear on this podcast, like podcasting is got a way to do it. Radio. You know, I got the #1 show on Sirius XM and called Fight Nation, and we're called Busted Open on that channel. Highly successful show. I didn't make that show. I was brought into that by Dave McGregor. Dave is my teacher and my co-host. Like none of the stuff, like the way like putting things together into a format and staying on topic, and once you get off the topic, finishing it off and leeway into the next thing. Like I've been taught, bro.
Yeah, doing podcasting is very different because the way I do it is so quick. I do mine quick, fast, hurry, quick, fast, hurry. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody say, "Oh, hey, I gotta get off of this," you gotta be able to move quick because you gotta be able to.
There's a place for being versatile and to being able to segue smoothly. But you still want to always like punctuate something, educate, and then get off it. And that's why I was saying like there was something before Sexual Chocolate. Now, Sexual Chocolate came about because the Nation broke up.
Yeah, I remember that time.
Everybody went their separate ways. Ron Simmons, there was no more Farouk. It was Ron Simmons again. The Godfather, Kamal Mustafa became Godfather.
Right.
Who wants to light it up with this pimp daddy? Like he was out there doing Like,
Yo, everybody loved that gimmick. Like nobody could say that they didn't love the Godfather, the whole train. You know what I mean?
people don't realize how real it was for him. Like, he was
Yeah.
out there in Vegas. He ran big time strip clubs. He was a general manager of
Wow.
one of the largest strip clubs in America. So that was just an extension of who he was. And he loved to smoke the tweeds. So that just became a thing. And
Yeah.
D-Lo got to be D-Lo.
Got to be the real. Yeah.
He got to be an ultimate wrestler. Like, man, if they had somebody that can really go, they put D-Lo with him and pushed him and tested him.
Wow.
And I was kind of, The Rock started the Rocky Sucks was real. Like, we hated him as Rocky Maivia. And he turned that shit on his ear and became The Rock, and this extension of this arrogant prick that he formulated, and the people ended up loving it. And look at him now.
Yeah. Crazy.
And I had just saw Coming to America, and me and D-Lo were in the car driving. And I said, man, I'm going to propose this character to them where, you know, he loses. He gets caught up with the ladies, and he's always distracted. And D-Lo's like, why would you do that? That's stupid. Why would you want to lose? And I was like, no, you're missing the point. It's going to be entertaining. I'm going to be doing comedy. I'm gonna be dancing with the ladies, and I'm gonna go out of the ring into the crowd, and people are gonna do stuff, and they're gonna beat me, and I'm gonna be like, oh well, and then I'm gonna go get the girl. And he was like, man, they're not gonna let you do that. He said, what's your name gonna be? And I said, so did you see Coming to America? He said, yeah. I said, you remember Randy Watson? That's chocolate. He went, oh, they're not gonna let you say sex on TV. And that's how it came, man. I got to the arena, I talked to Vince, and Vince was like, no. He was like, he said, we've invested too much in you for you to lose. Like, why would you want to lose? Everybody was like, why would you want to lose? I said, because Vince, I want to entertain. I want people to remember, like to memorize everything that I say, and I want them to remember me and remember that character when after the show goes off. I want them to talk about me. And he said, yeah, that's a good thought, but like, man, I don't know about all this losing. I said, well, let me try it just one night. He was like, okay, next week you work on it, and like we'll give you a shot at it. So the next week, I was nervous. I ain't never been nervous in wrestling to that point because I was doing something new. And I wanted to work, and I hadn't thought of nothing else. I put all my eggs in one basket. And I got out there, and I had this match, and in the middle of this match, I got out of the ring after I knocked the guy down. Like, I saw some girl like, oh, hey, what's up, girl? What's happening? And I went and got out the ring. The guy in the ring came up, tapped me on my shoulder, and I'm waving him off, talking to the girl. Yeah. So we're going to get together after the show and hang out. And, and he's tapping me on the shoulder. And, man, when I turned around and he hit me, and I started selling all around the ring, and the crowd was like going nuts. And then I rolled back in the ring, and he was beating my ass, and he hit the ropes and came off. And I picked him up and power bombed him. Bro, the building was like, it was like The Rock or Steve Austin was out there. Wow. And I pinned the guy, and the whole crowd did it at the same time. 1, 2, 3, and then I got up and celebrated like Rocky 3. I was down, jumped down on my knees, crying, praying, like I was wilding out. Hit in the back, Vince McMahon came up and hugged me. He said, "Wow, sexual chocolate, let's go, come on." And I was saying, I created that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't based on winning. It was based on entertaining. That's why
Right.
still today, if I walk in any ring around the world, sexual chocolate, sexual, they don't give a shit about all other stuff I did.
Right.
They saw passion in sexual chocolate. I put everything in that character. And the Vince was the brainchild behind me and China getting together, and then me and Mae Young getting together. And there was other things that happened in that character, but they just weren't as great as those.
Right.
And sexual chocolate will forever be one of the top characters that WWE ever had.
Wow. Okay. So, the King of the Jungle.
Hated it. Didn't want
Hated it.
I'm a black man in America. I am not going to be compared to a primate. They sold me on that for about 3 weeks, and I said, bro, I can't do this. I'm not a monkey man. I'm not a gorilla. I'm not going to do this.
Right.
It was so frustrating, and I was so miserable that my wife miscarried.
Wow.
Like, we were both just pissed. Like, we don't want to do this. And,
Right.
you know, it was other stuff that went on, but like the whole point was, no, I could do something. You know, and around that time, my mother fell ill with cancer.
Wow.
And I told Vince that my mother was sick, and he knew how much of a mama's boy I was. And he said, man, you just go home. He said, when you come back, you come back. How many bosses do that? My check came.
Not many. Not many.
Paid me for 6 months. No work.
Wow. Wow.
My mom died. And during that 6 months, I started back training. I was like Rocky training because I was trying to work that pain off. I was trying to distract myself from thinking about that. And seeing that cancer eat her up, it was horrible. Anybody that ever had a family member die of cancer, they'll tell you what I'm talking about. It's brutal, bro. I don't never want nobody to experience it. I hate it. It's the worst. And I told my coach, I was like, hey, man, I just read this article in Muscle and Fitness, these dudes talking shit about me, saying that why am I calling myself the world's strongest man? I don't compete in world's strongest man. And I said, I want to compete against him. And he started laughing. He said, you never did strongman before. I said, I don't care. I mean, it's lifting. And it's more of an athletic version of lifting. I killed them dudes. He was like, just laughing like, man, your arrogance just never ceases. I said, Terry, it's not arrogance. You know me. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
you know you can do it.
He was like, well, I'm telling you, I'm trying to discourage you because you'll never make any money doing that. You're making a hell of a living wrestling. You need to focus on that. I said, Terry, I need to clear my name. My name means everything to me. Nobody gonna talk shit on me and I'm gonna disappear and not say something. And he said, well, if you're serious, you gotta qualify. He said, go win like the state championship or national championships in powerlifting or weightlifting, or go to some strongman shows or something. And I said, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. And I won state in powerlifting, I won nationals in powerlifting, I set the national records.
Wow. So I got a question.
Go ahead.
How much was like all that brute strength when you was pulling that trailer tractor? Like when it was all was on the other side and you was pulling like this big ass truck, like this big ass looked like a trailer tractor or whatever it was. Yeah, like a semi truck, and you was pulling it. Was that nothing? Was that just strength?
That was me.
Wow.
Pull one, and it looked so easy that Vince said, "Can you pull two?" And I said, "Vince, I never tried to pull two before. What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Oh, we gotta sensationalize it. We gotta blow it. We gotta make it look this way and this." I said, "Man, you crazy." He said, "Yeah, I am." And I was like, "You're nuts." And we hooked it up, put this T-bar thing, and put two trucks together. They put the trucks in neutral, and the first time that I tried to do it, I couldn't do it. I said, "Man, that was rough." And he said, "Damn it!" And I went, "Man, hold on, let me try it again." Because I hate failing. And second time I tried it, man, it started moving. He said, "Stop, stop, stop." He was like, "You can do it, save it for live. We're gonna do it live." I said, "What?" I said, "No, let's record it." I might get tired of tight later on. We're gonna do it live on TV. And we put trucks live on TV. It had never been done before.
Wow.
Man, in history.
Wow.
38,000 pounds being done by one.
Damn.
I'm telling you that ain't God, there ain't one.
Yeah, man, you got that Samson strength. That, ooh, boy, like, damn. Shit. I mean, I'm looking at it because I'm young at this time, and I'm like, this got to be a hoax, right? It's got to be a lie. When I saw it, yeah,
A lot of people
like,
stuff that I did was television magic.
right.
And me holding the limo back was phony. Me bending the steel bars and frying pans and tearing telephone books and breaking handcuffs. Like, out of all of the things that you saw me do in my history, there was only one thing that I didn't know was going to happen. And that was the cage with the chain on it. And a lot of people don't realize, and I don't know if I ever even talked about this before. This might be the first time on your show that I talked about it. And you might put a pin in this and put a clip to it. But there was a guy named Ellis, Ellis is responsible for TV magic. And Ellis was going to cut little slices in the master lock. This is like you see the master locks on TV. And it was one of them big ones. If y'all pull up the clip, you'll find it. And you can put it next to us talking. And Ellis, somewhere along the line, he just forgot. So he didn't what we call gimmick it to where it break, because that was going to be live on TV, and I had never tried that. And they just was like, well, let's just gimmick it, and we'll do business, the entertainment magic of television. He forgot, so I started pulling on this chain, and it didn't give. And of course, I did not want to fail on national TV. And like, you watch that chain, like the master lock breaks.
Wow.
Like a real chain and master lock.
Breaks, like,
And it wasn't a little bitty baby master lock. When you go back and see it, you're gonna be like, man, holy shit, man. And I did the thing with Batista, and the rest was history. But like, that whole coming back from my mother's passing, and me winning the world's strongest man at the Arnold Classic in 2002 led to me being the world's strongest man. And then from the World's Strongest Man, it led to the Hall of Pain era, which the Hall of Pain was the era that people most recognize me for now, because it led to my retirement speech, and it led to me turning on John Cena. So the Hall of Pain was probably the most profitable and the best era for me. But like, I love the fact that I was able to evolve over 25 years. The time that I had a lull is when I was injured.
Wow.
I never shelf ever.
Like I got this question, right? Like, how many times have you wrestled and you was injured and you just kept doing it?
Bro, I probably wrestled 5 years of my career injured.
Wow.
I guarantee you, and that's not uncommon.
Man.
Wrestler that you could think of will tell you, yeah, man, I wrestled about 9 months hurt. I wrestled about 3 months hurt here. I wrestled about 7 months hurt here. Minimum 5 years of injury. And still out there doing it.
Wow, man. Like that was, whew. I know you stuff be hurting. Like how many like painkillers would you take just to ill the pain?
Man, so let me tell you who I am. I don't alcohol, drugs, and I don't like taking medicine. About the most thing that I'll take is BC powder.
Wow. Damn.
Anytime that I tried to take an opiate, it would mess my stomach up so bad that it wasn't worth having additional pain for one other pain to go away. So I never took pills.
That's crazy.
Wrestling will tell you, Mark don't drink or do drugs. He ain't barely will take aspirin.
That's one crazy. That's crazy, bro. That's like, wow, man. Because I heard, man. Because I remember this strongly when I was younger. Like, who was the strongest person you've been in the ring with? The strongest?
Probably Brock Lesnar or Big Show.
Okay.
Is right there. They're strong. I mean,
Because I remember
they're not world class competition strong. I'm talking about Big Show could pick me up. I was 385 to 440 in my career. And he could pick me up and body slam me and build me off the turnbuckles and stuff. Like, man, Big Show was a monster. And John Cena, same thing, just pick you up. John squatted about 700 pounds. So I never worried about him picking me up.
Oh, man.
Same thing with Brock Lesnar.
That's wild.
I trained with Brock a lot, and I was confident that I could trust him with my life.
That's wild. That's wild, man. That's because I always wondered, man, like, was the body slams, were they like just brute strength, or you just had to just pick somebody up?
It's art to wrestling. People like wrestling is entertainment. Wrestling is a show. Like, you want to do it every night.
Right.
You can't have a competition every night.
Right.
Like, but the magic of our world is that it's not magic, that it's a skill. So somebody how to do a body slam, not only giving it, but taking it. You got to learn. And that's where you go to wrestling school. And you learn how. And you learn how to do all of the techniques and maneuvers and, pray that you don't get injured. It's dangerous, and it hurts, and it's real. When I say it's real, I mean, there's this thing called gravity.
Mm.
If I up and I throw you, gravity is going to take a hold, and you're going to
Yeah.
Earth at a high rate of speed. You better know how to fall.
Because I remember, bro.
How to fall.
I remember I was actually training to be a wrestler, right? It was what one of my teachers in high school. His name was Steve, the teacher, and I watched one of his matches, right? And he took me to one of his practice shows, his rehearsal shows, right? And he had me running the ropes. Okay, I learned how to do that. I learned how to jump over the ropes and everything, and I learned how to take bumps. And if bro, like I'm standing in the middle, like in the middle of the ropes, right? I'm standing like and holding the ropes,
And then you
and I let go. Boom! Oh my God! Knocked the wind straight out of me, bro. I was like, dog, like I could breathe.
imagine the Big Show body slamming you. He's 7 feet tall. You're gonna fall 3 feet further than you would if I did it.
That's woo. Mm.
People don't realize, like, you know, the pro wrestling, man, it's an art. It's like,
Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second, brother. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second.
that's what happens when you got a show at home. It's like the COVID world. When COVID happened, I did my shows from home. My kids would come and ask me questions. And all you had to do was.
What is that?
Yeah, I was just letting everybody know that, you know, while you was gone, that COVID, that happened pretty regularly. I'd be doing all my shows from home. And the kids would come, like the dog would walk in and say, hey, let me out, like all kind of stuff. So
yeah, man. Like that was my dad calling me. Don't mind that. Don't mind that. But nah. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that I had to do when I was practicing to be a wrestler, he was like, man, it's gonna take a while for you to learn this. He was like, man, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Like, okay, so
period. When you
hell yeah.
Where you're just an open wound, everything hurt. Your back hurt, your knees hurt, your shoulders hurt, your ribs hurt from hitting the ropes. Like, you know, you get bangs and knocks from people stuff because people that you're working with are not experienced either.
Right.
They put all the people that can't work together and let them figure it out. That's not the situation.
Who is like, okay, out of all the people that was in on the roster, who is the most? Now I know you're gonna catch some flack for it. Who is the most reckless?
So I probably won't answer.
Who is the most reckless wrestler that you've wrestled?
Oh man, like it's not a contest. I had problems with Ahmed Johnson. You know, not because he also was not a good person, and he did stuff that it's hard for me to forgive him for. He asked me recently, could we have a talk? Because, and I know of, we have a mutual friend who called me and said, hey man, you talked to Tony? And I was like, for what? He's like, I apologize to you, man. Like, and you know, man, God gonna put it on my heart to do it, but it's gonna be when God put it on my heart because, you know, the stuff that happened, you know, I just didn't appreciate, and I'm still having issues with it. But he kicked people and he took liberties. There's something what we call in wrestling spot picking.
Mm.
spots to do whatever you wanted to do to somebody because they couldn't do nothing to defend themselves.
Right.
And times where people would tell me like, man, he just all out kicked me in my neck, man. Like, and he was over, so they couldn't really go to the office and say, man, this dude just almost killed me, until he did it to Ron Simmons.
Wow.
He kicked Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons came back and fucked him up.
Wow.
And it was never the same again.
Wow.
So
Because
I only name him because I have problems.
right.
But like, you know, I don't normally do that because that's taking the scab off a wound or burying somebody, and I'm not that guy. But man, that dude, like I had to pray for him before, and a lot of the prayers were not directed really at him. It was directed at me not doing something to him.
Right. Very understandable.
And I'm like, God, man, don't let me have this in my heart. And it's still there, man. It's still there.
Man.
And maybe I should talk to him. But, man, it ain't going to be right now. I can't do it.
Hold on for a second. Something about one of the guys want to jump into the interview with me. So why now? Why now? My cousin wants to join the interview. Is it okay? Is it okay for we want to join the interview?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You sure? Just making sure, you know. All right, man. Come on in. But like whenever I watched you, right, I always seen all the singlets you used to wear. You wore the blue one, you wore the black one, and you wore the what was the one? Why was those singlets always so like they always look so tight on y'all? Like what was so different about it?
Well, I didn't like the old timey singlets where your armpits were out, and so I designed that style of singlet for me. And now there's a lot of people that wear my style singlet.
Okay. Because
Style singlet. That's just the way that I liked it. You know, it's comfortable. It you know holds you in too. If you're a big guy, you know it's
yeah, man. It could.
you know you don't want to be out there looking like a raisin.
I mean, you say like a reason though. That's crazy. That's crazy. But no, you said a reason. But okay, so who is one of the most funniest people in the locker room that just like you can laugh at the drop of a dime, like just that a crack a joke and it's so naturally funny.
Still living, Santino Marella, man. Like that dude is so classic. He is so funny. Booker T is funny as hell, without even trying to be funny. Don't have to tell me.
Right.
You know, people just funny, man. Owen Hart was like that. There's been a lot of them, but man, I'm gonna tell you, like Booker and Santino, man, they good to be around. Jay Lethal is hilarious.
Oh yeah, I watched him when he did the Ric Flair impersonation.
Oh man,
Oh wow.
he's
Wow, man, it was so funny because I watched the attitude era all the way to ruthless aggression, all the way to what it is now. And mind to add, so what was the best era for you? The ruthless aggression era, the attitude era, or the era that is now?
I would say now because I'm more respected and people look
Okay.
at me as a teacher and they look at me as a mentor. And that feels a lot better than me being the guy in the ring having to carry the load. Me being there doing it. I just enjoy watching their face when I say something. They go, "Oh man, I can't. I'm gonna try that tonight. I'm doing that. I'm doing it." and then they go out test and they come back and hug me, man. It ain't nothing like that. Like that, my kids do it.
So okay, like 'cause you got me coming out with the questions now. So so like, how many of the wrestlers that remind you of yourself right now?
Oh man. I would say Will Hobbs at
Okay.
AEW. Will is like my wrestling son. We do a lot of one-on-one training. He listens.
This is my cousin. This is my cousin D.
Hopefully you pulled over and not driving on the phone out there.
Now, so first I want to apologize for being late. I was supposed to start the show with him, but my queen had me running around doing a lot of errands today, so I kind of been super busy. But I just want to say it's a pleasure and an honor to actually speak to you because you were one of my favorite wrestlers growing up, man. We used to love watching you. I just had to make that note real quick, but I apologize for being so late, sir. So y'all can continue the show. I am driving home, so I'm not gonna do the interview until I get myself home. So y'all continue. I'm just gonna admire you from a distance until I get a chance to talk to you. Okay?
All right, man.
Appreciate you.
So, Mr. Mark Henry, so man, what was it like, being your very first time doing being an introducer, whatever it's called?
You know what? Being an announcer, because I think before, I understood what the job was, but I never had.
Right.
Nobody ever asked me. I fun and when I put it like doing event, all like I love the, the, the I'm hoping that brothers uh, I would like uh, hey brother, mute your phone. There we go. All right. But like being able to the host events and give people the understanding of what that event is entailing, I love it, man. It's a lot of fun. It's something new for me.
Right. So I always wonder, right? Because being a baby face and a heel, like, what is the most funnest thing to do? Being a baby face or being a heel?
You know what? I like being a heel because usually the heel leads and dictates.
Okay.
So I like keeping the flow and the pace of the match. And yes, it's baby faces win and sell merchandise. Heels live in infamy.
I always thought like, cause like you were more like more softer, and I'm like more softer, like more like not soft, but very mild. But when you was a heel, I'm like, there you go, there the beast go, the monster right there, and I'm like, wow. You're like, cause like when I was watching you during the Hall of Pain years, dog, that was the most illest, most dangerous I saw you.
Yeah.
Because I never thought like, damn, like that would be, what I'm saying? Like, because I always thought like, why isn't it that a lot of guys like yourself would get chances to be the world champion like you were before? You feel me?
Yeah.
What do you think a lot of people like us, like our nationalities, get held back, or do you think that Do you think we're getting the chances now to be world champion?
No, we're getting the chances because of Ernie Ladd.
Who's Ernie Ladd? Never heard of him.
Ladd was he was Mark Henry before Mark Henry. Like,
Oh,
Ernie Ladd said, "Hey, I hear you're a smart guy. Don't fuck it up for everybody black after you." That was the first conversation. Not hello, not how you doing. My name is Ernie. Nothing. He said that one bad apple can spoil the whole bunch, and that's the truth. And he wanted me to be a beacon of hope for black wrestlers. And that's what I did. Like,
right.
force for us. And fighting those wars, some of it came with my fist, but most of it came from, listen, that's unacceptable. Like, you need to change this. This got to change. And I'm not singly responsible. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I led a lot of charges, and I stood behind people that needed me to stand behind them while they said what they said, because they were too fearful to say it without me standing behind them. And those things need to be changed. And I'm just proud of the way that the African American is portrayed in pro wrestling, because you get to play everything. You're not
Right.
You're not soup bone.
Right.
Chicken feet Robertson.
Chicken feet Robinson.
You get to be Mark Henry. Olympian.
Right.
You get to be Kofi Kingston. You get to be Big E Langston. You get to be Dr. Xavier Woods.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. And when I say Dr. Woods, I mean he has his PhD. The educational standard in pro wrestling is high. And
wow.
You need people that understand psychology and how to tell stories. It's an art. I keep saying that because it's the truth. You know, you go to the Smithsonian and the National African American Museum, and you see these artistic impressions on the wall, and they don't have segments in those places for pro wrestling, and they need to.
Right. You know, a lot of the things that, like the comic book industry, a lot of the industries that you see today, we live off of storytelling. You know, like you tell story with your music, you tell stories with your dancing, you tell stories with how you draw things, how you write things. It's a lot of that in the genres of entertainment. You telling a story, and that's how people will gravitate to that and telling the story, basically. You know what I'm saying? They'll gravitate to that if you're telling the story right, basically. You know what I mean? So,
and I grew up reading comics. I have the original Luke Cage Power Man series.
oh wow.
And when they said they were going to do Luke Cage, and they started doing that, Mike Coulter did that in Harlem. And I still have my place in Harlem right now. And there were people that were like, "Hey man, they shooting Luke Cage, man. You a superhero. You should be in there." I couldn't do it because I was working, and I was asked to be involved in the show, but I just didn't have the time to do it.
Right. So, you know, basically your first world championship match, your first world championship chance, man. Go back into that journey, man. How was the journey being your first world champion?
Well, being the ECW champion and beating Kane and Big Show, and you know, all of the guys during that time in my wars with the Undertaker, and the list goes on of high level Chris Benoit, Steve Regal, you name people I ring with. But it wasn't until I beat Randy Orton for the world heavyweight title that people were like, whoa, now this is the cream of the crop title. Like, wow. And I'm honored to be one of the 5 black world champions. And it's growing all the time because we adored and showed that you can have a black African American or African be a champion and people understand it.
Wow. That, because, I've always wondered, what I'm saying, ever since, Roman Reigns haven't been pinned for 3 years now. But he's been pinned just like in Money in the Bank. But he hasn't been pinned prior to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what do you have to say about that? What's your thoughts on that?
So proud of Roman. Roman has done an unbelievable job at being a champion and being a stalwart for pro wrestling to bring life and breathe life into other characters. And
Right.
he's done some incredible things, and I'm just proud of him, man. Like, he elevated pro wrestling. He'll go down in history as one of the top champions of all time, top 3. Like, at the end of his run, he may be on the Mount Rushmore.
Right. So I have a segment, right? I have a segment where you have to build your own company, right? And it's a short thing. Okay. You have to have a world champion, a women's champion, a tag team champions, and a mid-title champion. Okay. So out of all the people on the rosters, AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor, uh, TNA, all those companies, right? Out of all those companies, you got to pick all those. You got to pick out of all those wrestlers. Who would be your first wrestler as your world champion?
Bryan Danielson.
Okay.
Roman Reigns would be my second. Roman Reigns has more than exceeded expectation, but Bryan Danielson wrestles almost every night.
Okay, true that.
And my women's champion, I would have to say Charlotte Flair because she's still the standard. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair are 2 that I brought into wrestling, and both became world champion. And Bianca main evented WrestleMania before, like, she very easily could have been a choice. But they're young in their careers. They got another. You ask me this in 5 years, it might change.
Right.
My tag team, I would pay a lot of money to see the Usos versus FTR.
Wow.
And it won't happen because they're in different companies, but bro, it's almost a tie. It's a tie between them, so I can't pick one.
Right.
My intermediate champion, I would have to say Okada. The
Okada.
Rainmaker is a mother, man. Like, he just got it. And wrestler, top wrestler, every company in the world, and sell them out. Sell the building out.
Oh man.
I guess if I was gonna go with a cruiserweight guy, man, Ray Phoenix. I watched do stuff that I ain't never seen nobody else do.
I thought you were gonna pick up Ricochet.
I would have to ask him and Ricochet, man. I would pay a lot of money to see them on that card with FTR and the Usos.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like it would be, they would steal the show. It just
Hell yeah.
be crazy because they both do things that are incredibly difficult, but they make it look effortless and easy.
Yeah.
But man, I'm gonna have to get out of here.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
But I've enjoyed my time with you, man. I pray that you keep developing and keep getting better, and that you have success. You deserve that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Let me take us out of here. Thank y'all for watching. It's been well. It's been the 139th episode of the In Your Face show. And we out. Peace.